Hey, Wendy. How are you? Oh, it's a ball. I am exhausted today. I feel like my face is a little sunburnt too, but I wish it would rain here. It's so hot. No, we went grocery shopping, then went to another store, then went 45 minutes to an hour away for lunch, and I'm exhausted. I'll be right back. Okay. Hey, Tasha. Hubby needed me to bring him something, so I had to step away for a minute. One of my children is not in bed. I can see them standing at the end of my dark hallway. It's a little creepy. I'm alright, Tasha. I'm just tired. We went grocery shopping, and then we went to a friend's store that's getting ready to shut down. We went there and hung out for like an hour or two. Um, and then we went like an hour away and grabbed lunch as a family. We just decided to take a family afternoon out. No, just took it out of me today for some reason. My nose is sunburnt. I can tell my nose is burnt. My dog is eating grass. This is why I don't usually have my curtains open when I do these, is because I get distracted by what's going on in my backyard. How are you today, Tasha? Our weather is, you know what? I couldn't really tell you. I think it's about 90 here, but it feels like 100, and we have like 90% humidity right now. So why aren't you in bed? What? I can't hear you if you're talking to me while you're walking away. I don't know where Delson is. I don't know. Open the door. Delson, if you're not going to the bathroom, go to bed. My kids, I swear, after being out and about with them all day. Oh, hi, Lori. Like, this is gonna sound awful, you guys, but after being out and about all day with them, I'm donezo. I just want them to go to bed and leave me alone. How are you doing, Lori? My husband probably should before we get coded again. It's too freaking hot here, y'all. Like, what do they expect? People to have heat strokes? Mowing their grass? Good grief. Delson, get your hiney in your bed. Hey, Tasha, how are you, girl? Lori, I'm having the opposite problem. My 7-year-old's mad at me because I'm going to make her go back to school in person again this year. She just doesn't learn well at home. I'm not a good teacher. I don't have the patience to teach her. So, my nose just really all of a sudden started burning. I should stop touching it. You know what I'm really shocked by? As much as I walk outside, I don't really have a tan line for my glasses. See, our neighbors are like right on top of us here, and my husband works 12-hour days and goes in at 4 a.m. I bet you're dying around here, Tasha. Dang. I couldn't imagine, Tasha. No thanks. How are you even living with no air conditioner in this area, Tasha? Hey, Kat, I hope you have a great night, love. If you get the chance and I'm still on, stop back by after a while, okie dokie? Love you, girl. Tell your hubby I said hi. Good night, sissy. Even then, Tasha, around here the shade isn't much better. Kat, we're supposed to be best friends, and you're just now mentioning that your hubby got a new position? She's probably not on here anymore. My nose burns bad, y'all. Who messaged me? Oh, my husband. Who cares? I got a laminator, a Scotch laminator today, you guys, for free. Is that gonna annoy you, my dog's barking in the background? Because it's gonna annoy me. It's going to annoy me a lot. I should probably let them in so they stop. Well, that's nice, Tasha. My kids want us to get a pool, but with the way our backyard is right now, we can't really do that, and I don't want to put it in the front yard. I wish I could mute them with the remote. Good grief. My daughter is on this kick of using a old remote. She likes to play the pause game, which means she points the remote at you and says pause, and you're supposed to pause. She gets real mad when I'm in the middle of something and don't pause, but what you gonna do? I think they want in. Let me let them in real quick. I shall return. Uh, it's okay, Tasha. I completely understand. Hopefully soon you'll be able to get some kind of satellite internet or something out there so you can rejoin us. We miss you so, so much. Did y'all see how much nonsense junk food I bought today at the grocery store? Like, if I wouldn't have bought all that nonsense, I probably would have only spent like $125 at Walmart today. But instead, I spent $220 at Walmart today. But that's okay. That is okay. I am doing 2 new recipes this week that I haven't cooked for you guys. And they are both recipes I have also never cooked. So we're going to try them. We're going to see if they work. If they're good. I need to come up with like a name for that series. Nope, it left me. Yeah, Tasha, it's not hard sometimes. It's hard all the time. Um, Lori, I could never. Literally, I would never survive. No, I couldn't. I couldn't give up my Oreos. I couldn't give up my Mountain Dew. Chips, I could take or leave. That's not really a big deal to me. Ooh, though, but like chips, like hot Cheetos on a nice ham sandwich, I don't know. Um, it's just like, Tasha, you're given so many spoons in a day, and today was a day where my husband had more spoons than me. That's for sure. Sometimes when my husband talks, I can't tell if it's my husband or one of the children out of the bed. So y'all know that curtain over my cabinet in my I went to the Amish store and bought expired Lunchables for 50 cents a piece. Walked out with 2 cases. I went to the Amish store. Okay. Okay. Um, Tasha, that's a good deal. I got about $200 worth of Red Bull today also for free. Maybe not $200. Let's see. We got about 38 of the 16-ounce ones, 8 or 9 of the 8-ounce ones, and then 15 of the Blue Edition 8.4-ounce ones. So that's a lot of money worth of Red Bull for my husband that I don't have to spend now. Um, y'all know that cabinet that has the curtain over it in my kitchen by my sink? So I'm like standing by that cabinet, right? And then my phone's plugged in and I'm looking at something on my phone. My friend whose store's shutting down, she just gave them to us because they're just trying to get, it's a long story, not my story to get into, but they were screwed over. And so now they're just trying to get everything out of the building so they don't have to put it in storage. And so she gave us a lot of things for free. It was a blessing. But so I'm standing there by this cabinet and the curtain Hi, Aaron. I got a lot of Red Bull for free today. Um, the curtain started moving, and at first I thought it was my cat. And then I thought, no, cats can't move a curtain like that. And I'm just put it to you this way. My daughter almost got punted into next year because she was hiding behind that curtain trying to scare her dad, and instead she scared me. I'm sorry, Tasha. Well, it's not okay. I shouldn't say it's her business, it's her parents' business. And yeah. No, look at how much tanner. Like, this is ridiculous. This tan I've got going on here. Like how white I usually am compared to how tan I am now. Oh, good night. Basically, their business partner screwed them over, drained the account, and took what he wanted out of the building and the cash register and walked away. So, yeah. Maybe we won't get as deep tonight as we did last night. Because that took a whole left turn from what I wanted it to be last night. I don't even remember how we got there, but we got there. I don't know if I have it in me to be that deep tonight, you guys. I feel like my face is puffy. Does my face look more puffy today than it usually does? It feels more puffy. I mean, I'm not complaining if it is a little bit more filled out, but it feels a little more puffy. Thank you, Tasha. They're just ready to be done. They were ready to be done months ago. So they're finally done. But my kids got like 7 giant bags of toys. What am I gonna do with that many toys? But it's fine. Hey, Marcy! How are you today? How are you, Aaron? I didn't ask you how you were. I was in the middle of a story when you commented. I was. Our horrible neighbor killed 2 little kittens and put them in our yard. We cannot evict her because of everything going on. Been trying. She hasn't paid rent since October. It's been a day. Oh, Aaron, I am so, so sorry. They're brand new, Lori. Basically what they would do is they would buy like pallets of returns from Amazon or um, just different pallets of different things and sell them in their store. I'm doing okay, Marcy. It's been a long day. We went grocery shopping. We went to my friend's store. We went an hour away to eat lunch, and it just kind of took it out of me today. I don't know why. I mean, it wasn't like it was a lot of strenuous activity, but and just being around so many people in Walmart, and then being around my friend for like 2 hours, and then being in that restaurant with all those people. Yes. Any of the kid stuff that's left, like clothes, toys, um, toiletries, and things like that. She is gonna donate, and even like the school supplies. And today, or not today, tomorrow, I'm gonna go through my kids' clothes, or not my kids' clothes, my kids' toys, and we're going to take the things they no longer play with. And I'm even gonna look at some of the stuff they picked out at that store today, and we're going to pick some of them, and we're going to give them. Um, to kids in need in our area, which is what I do at every birthday, every Christmas, every Easter. Why are you not in bed? You need to be in bed. Okay, you're not doing anything, but you're also not in bed. No, go to bed. Do I have to count? I didn't think so. Yeah, but for every Christmas, every birthday, every Easter, anytime they get like more than one or two toys in a span of a month, I make them go through their toys and we donate them. Yeah, Aaron, that is evil. So the same friend, she like rescues kittens. Like people will call her if they find kittens that have been abandoned by their mom, and she rescues them. And somebody in a town 45 minutes over tried to start a rumor that she threw one out her car window driving down the highway. So we've also been dealing with that lately, but um we went to Steak and Shake today, and I'm not hungry because we ate a late lunch. We didn't eat till after 2 o'clock. Maybe in a little while I'll get a snack, but probably not. I want Taco Bell so bad, but my husband won't eat it. So I wish they'd bring back their nacho fries. I need to just find a dupe recipe online to make them because yum. If y'all hear my husband getting loud, he's streaming his games on his computer. So my snack cabinet is open, you guys, and I keep looking over there like maybe I should get a snack, but I'm not hungry. They're not back at my Taco Bell, Marcy. In my area, they're not back. And I'm very angry about it. Oh, that's so nice, Lori. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I am not a cat person, but even with our other cat, like that cat hated me. And when I say hated me, he would hide around like a door frame, and 1,000 people could walk by, and he would do nothing. But the second I walked by, he attacked my feet. But I'm not. Let me rephrase that. It's not that I don't like cats. I just don't prefer cats. I don't like dealing with the litter box and all that good jazz. So I just don't prefer cats. But anyways, but for some reason, me and this cat just have a connection. I wish I was having me another. Look, Marcy, I just don't know why they don't make them a regular menu item. Like, I would literally be there every day. Every day. If they had nacho fries. Me and Nova just have some kind of weird connection. I don't know. I've never really like loved cats. Um, no, you guys, listen. If nacho fries ever come back to my area, I'm gonna be like eating them every day so I can like really taste the seasoning they put on them. And we are gonna figure out how to make nacho fries. For real, for real. Everywhere is getting rid of a lot of items. Was it just the KFCs in my area, or did y'all's KFCs get rid of the potato wedges too? Because that made me angry. Y'all, I was just complaining I was hot and now I'm freezing. What's going on? Am I going through early menopause? I don't know. That was a joke, by the way. It's not a funny joke. I shouldn't joke about menopause, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah. So, also gonna be completely transparent, my kitchen isn't clean, and I'm not gonna clean it right now. What is today, the 9th? No, today's the 8th. Listen, I did a whole week straight of making sure my kitchen was clean every night. So I think a few dishes in the sink and a little bit of clutter on the counter is okay for tonight. I'm just not doing it. Ain't gonna do it. What was that just popped across my screen? Leave me alone. Nothing important. Okay. We used to have this restaurant in the town I grew up in, which is only like 10 minutes away, that used to make the best pork fried noodles, and I have been craving them so hard since I was pregnant with Luca, but they shut down, and it's sad. They shut down because the people who owned it and made all the food, they had been running it for like over 40 years, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think they ever had any kids until they were ready to retire and never had, and they didn't have anybody to take over. So, and I couldn't afford to buy the business because I would have in a heartbeat just for the pork noodle recipe. I did have like a list of things in my head we were going to talk about, but it's gone. Are y'all still here? No comments are coming through. Did something happen? I'm sure somebody would text me if things were not okay, right? Oh, y'all are just listening to me ramble about random things? That's sweet, Lori. Me and my husband have been uh, discussing the choice on whether or not we're ever going to have a fourth baby. And he said he's pretty sure he's done. And so I told him, well, if you're pretty sure you're done, you need to go get a vasectomy so I can, like, not take birth control and we don't have to worry about it. But he said he wasn't going to get a vasectomy because he's not 100%. He's pretty sure, but he's not positive. So that's fun. And at this point right now, I'm pretty indifferent about whether or not, like, I'm not, like, gung-ho to try for a fourth baby, but I wouldn't be, like, upset if we had a fourth baby, you know what I mean? But I've always been that way. I've always been a whatever God wants to give me is what God's gonna give me, no matter what precautions I take to prevent it, you know what I mean? It's 8 o'clock and I want another cup of coffee, but I'm going to use self-control and not have another cup of coffee. I really just want something sweet, guys. I want, like, a hot fudge sundae with extra hot fudge sounds so stinking good. I had my tubes tied after my daughter. I was not allowed after my son because I was 27 years old and not legally married at the time. I was told I couldn't have kids, then bam, 2 and 16 months. Dang. Um, See, when I was pregnant with Luca, I ended up having an anterior placenta and placenta previa, which basically just means my placenta was right over my cervix, which made it extremely life-threatening to both me and baby if I were to go into labor naturally and he would come out naturally or vaginally, because my placenta would come out first and I would bleed to death. So we knew a C-section was imminent. And we had always discussed that when it was our last kid, if I had to have a C-section, I would get my tubes tied. If I did not have to have a C-section, my husband would get a vasectomy. So when we knew we were going to have a C-section, we had to make the decision, do I go ahead and get my tubes tied? And we decided not to because we didn't know. We liked the idea at the time of having a fourth baby. I had my first two, so okay. With Katie, I'll just go into it. I'm taking my glasses off, y'all. Sorry if I have to get real close and squinty to see what you're saying, but my glasses are annoying me. So with Katie, my oldest, her due date was June 11th. And the day before that is my dad's birthday, and now the baby's birthday. And then the day after that is one of my friend's death days. And so I just prayed that she wouldn't come on the death day. And she ended up not coming till the 14th, but I went into active labor at 10 o'clock on the 10 o'clock in the morning on the 13th. But I had been having consistent contractions that were they were pretty painful, but they were like 6, 7, 8 minutes apart, and so they weren't really doing anything productive. But I went into active labor at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was admitted into the hospital, and I was begging for the epidural, and I was only my son distracted me. What? Get your butt in your bedroom now. 1, 2. I was begging for the epidural, and I was only 3 centimeters, and they said, you're still too early for the epidural. So we're gonna give you this other pain medicine. And you guys, it made me so loopy. Y'all know I love Jesus. I'm a firm believer in him, but I was 20 years old. They gave me this medication that made me so loopy. My very religious grandmother was in the room with me, and I was telling her Jesus jokes. Okay? So I get that medicine, and an hour later they come in the room and they say, hey, we have 2 anesthesiologists. One's in surgery for 12 hours, and the other's going home. So if you want your epidural, you have to get it now. So I got it then. This was at, I don't know, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I get the epidural. Everything's going. They ended up having to break my water. They broke my water when I was like 7 centimeters. And at about 4 o'clock in the morning on the 14th, I started noticing, because you have to press that stupid button to get more of the epidural medicine, started noticing it wasn't working. And so I asked the nurse, what do we do? It's not working. I can feel it wearing off. I'm starting to feel more and more. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do. So I just had to mentally prepare myself that eventually I was going to have to give birth with no epidural. And then she came at 6. Yeah, it's either 6:34 or 6:39. I can't remember off the top of my head. With no epidural, basically. The epidural had wore off. So I was in labor with her. I was in active labor for almost 24 hours. I was in not preterm labor. I was in inactive labor for at least 12 hours before then. Okay, so then, Delson. I woke up one morning. I was working at Payless. My husband was working at a place called Ducommon. He had to go to work. He had to be at work at 6. I didn't have to be to work till 9. We only had one vehicle, so we would take my daughter and drop her off at her Mimi's. And I would just go sit in the car at my husband's work and go back to sleep or watch YouTube or play games or really do whatever I wanted. And so that day, Delson's due date was December. I want to say it was either the 11th or the 13th. I can't really remember. Anyways, so on November 23rd, I get up the day before Thanksgiving with my husband. We go drop my daughter off. I go sit in the car. Well, we wake up at like 3 in the morning, and I'm having contractions, and they're pretty consistent, pretty painful every 3 to 4 minutes apart. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is it. I'm just going to wait it out until, it's time for us to leave, and then we'll decide. Well, they kind of slow down. They go from being pretty painful, like I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and it was kind of like stopping me in my tracks. And then once like 5 o'clock came around and they had kind of spread out. They were like 10 minutes apart. They weren't really that painful. And then on the drive to town, they kind of stopped. So I was like, oh, this was just like weird prodromal labor. It's fine. So I go to work. I sit in the car. I go to work. I'm working. And I have a doctor's appointment later that day at like 3:30 or something like that. 2 o'clock, something like that. I don't really remember. And the person who's supposed to come in and relieve me is supposed to come in at like 1:30. And so I'm working and I'm working, and then contractions start picking back up, and I just continue to work because I'm like, well, this is still too early. Katie went late. This is 18 days early. I don't think this is it. So I continue to work, and it's pretty painful, like to the point I had customers asking me, are you okay? Do we need to call an ambulance? Do you need to call your husband? I'm like, no, I'll be fine. The person who was supposed to come relieve me was an hour late. So my appointment must have been at 3 o'clock because I still made it there on time. Fast forward, I'm in a lot of pain going to my appointment. We get to my appointment, and I'm dilated to a 3. So we lived far enough away. He was like, I don't want to send you home yet until we know if this is like active labor. So we're going to send you up to labor and delivery because the doctor's office was in the hospital. We're going to send you up to labor and delivery for an hour, let them monitor you and check you. And by this point, you guys, when I tell you I am in excruciating pain, I was yelling curse words, and the nurses had the audacity to come and ask me to be quiet because I was scaring the other mothers. And I very unpolitely told them they either got me something for the pain or they could shove it up their ass. Anyways, we waited the hour. They checked me again, and in an hour I had went from a 3 to a 6. So yeah. So then they get me in a room. I call my dad. He lives 5 hours away. See, with my daughter, I called him, and he made it here within 3 hours, but he had plenty of time. We knew he wasn't going to make it for Delson because my water ended up breaking on its own. No, they broke it. They broke my water again, I'm pretty sure. They got me my epidural right away, except for it was too late because within like 20 minutes, it was already time to push and get him out. And so, though it had kind of taken the edge off to where I could kind of focus my mind on what I was doing, it was still pretty painful. So when I tell you, I found out I had to have a C-section with Luca. When I tell you I was terrified that they were going to give me the epidural to do this C-section and it wasn't going to work, that is an understatement. A huge understatement. I was terrified. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a lot of comments going on a story time. Let me... Your ex refused to, so I was on birth control. I'm glad I'm off of them. If we were 100% sure we're done, he would gladly go get the vasectomy, but because we're not 100% done, we just feel more comfortable either using natural family planning or birth control. Had my tubes tied after my daughter. I was not allowed after my son. Yes, I know a lot of doctors won't do it unless you have like a certain amount of kids or you're a certain age or you have permission from your husband or whatever. You're drinking coffee now, Tasha. I wish I was, but I would probably not sleep tonight. Dang. I bet it was weird having to start all over for him, Aaron. I bet you did, Lori. That had to have been hard knowing that you weren't gonna get that chance to do that again. They wanted me and my ex to do tests. Well, God had other plans for us. The boys are 11 years apart. I couldn't imagine starting over again, Wendy. I bet, Lori. I bet it was devastating. I couldn't imagine. Y'all are about to convince me to go get this cup of coffee, y'all. My parents' anniversary, June 14th. I was stupid. I found out I was pregnant with the first at 5 months. My daughter, I was almost 8 months, no symptoms, etc. Y'all are gonna think this is crazy. So I have 3 children, but I have been pregnant a total of 7 times. And y'all are gonna think this is crazy. But all 7 of them have either been right around either the 1-year mark of somebody passing away or the first, like I found out and got pregnant. What? Yeah, go. Yeah, I gotta go wipe a butt. I'll be right back. What, Katie? Yes, just a minute. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to kick y'all. Okay. I have found out with all of my pregnancies, and I have found out that I have conceived after looking back either a year, like around the year mark of them passing, or their first birthday after they have passed. It's crazy. It's weird. I know, but I told my husband, ain't nobody close to us better die anytime soon. December 11th is your birthday, Marcy? My first was 50 minutes start to finish scary. Because 5 weeks later, I started hemorrhaging and had to have an emergency DNC. I bet that was scary, Lori. Dang. My eye doctor appointment is in October, and I can tell you I'm probably going to have to get another prescription because I've noticed things are starting to get a little more blurry. Dang. I go on Saturday, Marcy, to the eye doctor. I had to take blood from my spine and put it back in. It was an instant relief. That's weird. I did. I was like, listen, if y'all don't want me screaming in pain, then don't let me be in pain. Like, hello. Um, with my oldest, I didn't have morning sickness. I just would randomly like eat something and then get sick. And it was only like 3 or 4 times. With Delson, I don't remember ever throwing up. I just remember, uh, and not even feeling nauseous, just not feeling good. Uh, and then with Luca, I really felt fine my whole pregnancy. Really, I mean, I would get headaches, and I was like tired after chasing after 2 other children. But other than that, one, two. These kids are about to get it, y'all. See, okay, this is the thing. I love my eye doctor. What is this weird line? I love my doctor, my eye doctor, but he is also religious, and I just think personally for me, not for me, I don't care. He was asking every patient when they went into the office if he could pray for them. And I just feel like that's bad business practice. Like you should keep, like you can ask questions like that, but it didn't feel more like, oh, I like genuinely want to pray for you. Let me pray for you. It felt like, no, before we can move on, I have to pray for you. You know what I mean? And I just feel like for people who aren't religious, just wanting to go to the eye doctor, that can be a little frustrating. If you do not take your butt, well, you're going to have to be patient and wait. Go to your bed. You know what I would have done, Marcy? I probably would have punched him in his no-no square. Good, Marcy. None. Somebody snatched glasses off my face, and I'll be snatching their face off their face. We had a kid do that to my daughter in kindergarten. Oh, Lori, I would have not walked the fuck out. I would have been escorted the fuck out by the police. Because I'm psycho. Yeah, but we had a little girl in kindergarten when my daughter was in kindergarten. Snatch. Mars. I watch a lot of true crime now. We might be able to work something out. I'm just kidding. Government, don't come for me. It was a joke. Y'all, I really want a snack, but I just went grocery shopping and I keep looking over there like, there's not really any good snacks over there. You know what I would have done, Marcy? I would have called the insurance company and tell them I didn't go to the eye doctor, so I don't know why they're trying to bill your insurance for you going to the eye doctor. Luckily, my daughter has never broke a pair of glasses. Hear that? I'm knocking on wood. We're going to keep up that streak. Do I need to call him, Marcy? You want to send me his number? I'll tell you this. Speaking of not submitting claims, so before we had Delson, listen, I'm about to go off on a whole nother tangent. So we think Delson was a twin and we lost one because we had a miscarriage like a month before I found out I was pregnant with him. And I can tell y'all, we weren't doing the baby making dance between the time I had the miscarriage and the time I found out I was pregnant. And that kind of lines up with him being 18 days early. Do you know what I mean? So, anyways, there's that. That miscarriage we had a month before I found out I was pregnant with Delson. I went to a hospital. We lived in a town that's really small and didn't have even a doctor's office. So we went to um, the closest hospital, which was in another town. And so I go to this hospital, right? And I tell them what I think is happening. And they draw my blood. And I sit there in the stupid room for like 2 stupid hours waiting on this blood results, right? Then the person comes back into my room and says, "Oh, we don't have the machine to run this test. Sorry, you'll have to go to a different hospital." When I tell you they billed me for $4,000 and I lost my mind, that is an understatement. Ooh, what would I add to my grocery list? Toilet paper, paper towels, tin foil, Ziploc bags, trash bags, parchment paper, saran wrap, paper plates, flour, sugar. I didn't get freaking chocolate chips today, you guys. Why'd y'all let me forget? All I want is some chocolate chip cookies. Oh. Anyways, flour, sugar, coffee, any spices I might be out of. Well, first, Marcy, did you make a meal plan, first of all? Because that really depends. Who making dinner? What you making, Cat? I was just talking about getting a snack. Except for, I don't know what kind of snack I want. I just went grocery shopping and none of it sounds good. Yeah, Marcy, we talked about chocolate chips the other day and I still forgot to get them at the grocery store. Erin, if you don't know how, I have a video on my channel. She can use that. Yo, cat. Speaking of that, okay, I got a little bone to pick with you. We're supposed to be best friends, and you didn't tell me he got a new position until this live. I'm a little sad. I'm a little hurt. I can't even take myself seriously. We went to Steak and Shake for a late lunch, so I didn't eat dinner. You can use either. I personally prefer the semi-sweet in my chocolate chip cookies, but you could use either. They're both good. But if I had both, like in my hands, I would choose semi-sweet. Because I like my peanut butter. No, we're not talking about peanut butter cookies. My chocolate chip cookies to be a little less sweet so the salt can come through a little more. So that's just my opinion. It's all in how you like your cookies. Our experience was terrible. See, I like milk chocolate chips in my pancakes too, but for cookies, I prefer to be able to taste the salt a little. Hey, Care Bear! Good for him. You tell him good for him for sticking up for himself and sticking it to the man and saying, you give me what I want or I'm done. That sounds good, Care Bear. Care Bear, what is your real name? Or do you just want to be called Care Bear? Or is that your real name? I am about to get your dad. No, I am not coming with you. I am talking to my friends. You need to be patient. Y'all, these kids. Karen, do you want us to call you Care Bear or is it okay to call you Karen? And does it offend you when people say don't be a Karen? Because if it does offend you, I want to make sure I don't say it. Y'all, that boy, he's about to lose his TV privileges for the night if he don't stay in his bed. You know what I really want? Like, as much as I love my own homemade chocolate chip cookies, I could really throw down on some Subway chocolate chip cookies right now. Oh, that would be so good. He did. He said, I ain't doing this new job and added responsibilities until you pay me what you said you were going to pay me. If not, I'm quitting. I was like, Lord, please don't let this man quit. I bet you were. Right, Aaron? I am the one at home with him all the time who, dishes out all the discipline, but yet they're so afraid of their dad. Okay, so like if I was like telling a story and somebody I was talking about somebody and said they were being a Karen, that wouldn't offend you? Marcy, I wouldn't even say I need a vacation. I just need to like go in a sensory deprivation tank for 2 hours. Like that's what I need. Just 2 hours. Cat, how did your can opener break? How long have you had your can opener for it to break? Also, was it a cheap can opener? Did you buy it at Dollar Tree? Okay, so this is what you do. Are you trying to open a can right now? Well, Kat, I will tell you. You take a knife, right? And you cut the can open. Well, how do you think they used to do it in the old days? Okay, but when you like shut it down, is it making a hole in the can? Because if so, then you can just pokey, 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 pokey all around the can and open it. Because if it's poking the hole in the can, then you can just, you know. I'm sorry I laughed, Cat, when you told me it broke, but that's kind of funny. My son tells me that when he gets in trouble, I'm gonna tell Daddy, and I said, good. He'll get the same punishment too. Cat, never mind. I take back what I said about opening the can with a knife. Please don't do that. Just don't have beans. Were you just using it wrong, Cat? That's the question. Did you just forget how to use a can opener for 5 seconds? I've done that. Daddy? That's funny. He ran right back in his room. Yo, like those hot Cheetos are calling my name, but I don't even really like hot Cheetos unless it's on a sandwich. Yo, I just about had a heart attack. My vacuum is in my I almost said my vacuum is in my microwave. Holy cow. Y'all see how like melted my brain is? My vacuum is in my hallway, and my kid left the bathroom light on. My hallway is pitch black because it's getting dark here and all the lights are off. And my kid left the bathroom light on, and it's like, um, lighting up the vacuum a little bit, and I saw it out the corner of my eye, and I thought there was a freaking weird, creepy man standing in my hallway. Yo, my Oreos are for when I'm going to get in bed. That would involve me having to get up there all the way uh, in the cupboard, and I don't want to walk. I thought you were gonna say it was on fire, and I was about to just say, "Do not put water on it. Cover it with a towel." Y'all, give me 2 seconds to go deal with this child who won't go to his bed. Don't tell my kids I just walked on my couch. What I miss? I just like cappuccino, and I don't think you can get a decaf cappuccino. We decided on Pringles. Is it gonna annoy y'all if I eat these? Why did I just get so cold? Oh, I hate that feeling. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know if y'all can tell, but no, you guys can't tell, but I got goosebumps. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. You know what they say that means? I'm not gonna say it out loud, but freaky. My vacuum keeps scaring me. Do y'all eat your Pringles one at a time? Or like two or three at a time? Says the question. I eat them one at a time. I need to move that vacuum before I go to bed, because I will see it in the middle of the night through my bedroom door, and I will literally pee myself. I don't know why I keep looking over there. I feel like somebody's over there watching me, but there's nobody there. Yo, but the crumbs are my favorite part, to be fair. Y'all, I really don't want to speak this into existence, but I really think my house is haunted. I'm probably also so exhausted because at 4 o'clock this morning, a 4-year-old climbed in my bed and decided to curl up in a ball right in the small of my back. I know. You want me to tell you more about my house being haunted? Is that what you want, Kat? Because remember, at some point you're going to be sleeping in this house. Remember? You're going to come visit, stay the night in my house, so maybe I shouldn't go on. No, this ain't it. It's not what I wanted. I know what I want, and I can't have them because I forgot. Okay, so nothing like scary or creepy really happens, but we bought this house. We closed the last day of January in 2017, and we moved in the following weekend. Nothing really happened except for at first. But my daughter kept saying she was scared of the old lady in her room. And at first I thought she was just being funny, being a kid, making stuff up. But it got to the point where she wouldn't even go in there, even during the day. And so I went in her room and I pretended I grabbed the old lady by her hand and shoved her in a hall closet. Okay. Well, a couple weeks later, y'all have seen my dogs in videos, my giant dogs. At this time, we only had the two, the Border Collie and Blue Heeler mix and the Great Dane Great Pyrenees mix. And they have kennels that we used to keep them locked in at night because they like to chew things up and they didn't have their own room at the time. When I tell you we would lock all the locks on their kennels, and in the mornings they would all be unlocked and the dogs would be walking around the house. Unless my dogs are Houdini or can do like Jedi mind tricks or something, how did they get open? And so then, about a year after I put the old lady in the closet, I had completely forgotten about it. And I thought also that my daughter had completely forgotten about it, to be fair. And I opened that closet door. I hadn't opened um that closet in front of her since I had put the old lady in there. When I opened that door in front of her and I tell you my daughter sobbed and was like having a panic attack about this old lady coming out of the closet, it was awful. So that day, I put her back in the closet, and that day when my husband got ready to go to work, he got the old lady out of the closet and put her in the car. And when he came home from work, he said, I took her back to her own house. The old lady is no longer here. She is no longer welcome at our house. When I tell you, my daughter hasn't mentioned this old lady since like Christmas, around Christmas time of that same year, maybe beginning of 2018. I shit you not, she has not mentioned it. My dog's kennels, though, when we do lock them in there, they don't really get locked in anymore because they have their like own room with a gate. But like during fireworks and stuff, we lock them in there because they will try and kill themselves jumping out a window because they're scared. They still get unlocked. You know how in videos when I joke that my cabinets are always open because my husband leaves them open or whatever? That is true. My husband does always leave them open, but I have started trying to make sure I shut them before I start filming. And I will literally shut a cabinet, turn around to film in front of it, and by the time I have hit the record button, the cabinet is already open again. So I don't think there's anything bad here. But sometimes I just feel like I'm being watched when there's nobody there. Um, we hear noises, things fall over, lights turn on and off by themselves, the TV turns on and off by itself. So I don't think it's anything like mean or malicious. I just think there's like a little ghosty ghost who likes to play. And not speaking of the, like, it could be 80 degrees in here, and like right now, all of a sudden I just got goosebumps all up and down my arms. And they say that that's a sign that there's a spirit around you. So, yeah, I'm not pretty sure it's not the people, the old couple who did own this house before they died and their kids sold it, did die in this house. So maybe it's just an old grandma and grandpa that likes to just stick around. And like I said, nothing malicious has ever happened, and I don't ever feel like uneasy or scared. I just feel like, oh, there's somebody hanging out here with me. Oh, there's somebody looking at me from down the hallway, even though there's not. When I tell you I will be 28 years old this month, and if the light is off in my room, it's safe, Marcy. I'm done talking about the things in my house. But I'm 28 years old, and when I tell you if the light is off in my room and I'm going to bed, I literally run down the hallway and jump from the door into my bed. Ain't no Pennywise grabbing me from under my bed. Hell no. And this house was built before the 60s, I'm pretty sure, so there's no telling what happened. And even before this house was built, we are pretty close to a lot of historical battlegrounds and things like that, so you never know what's here. Um, Also, this was a little creepy. We let our dogs out when we got home today, and we noticed there was some plastic in our yard by our gate, and we went over to pick it up. We don't know where it came from. It came from under the ground. I'm not scared of the spirits, Cat. Like, Pennywise isn't a spirit, he's a scary clown. No thanks. I also make sure I shut my closet doors. I also make sure I sleep under a blanket because if a murderer comes in my house, they obviously can't see me through the blanket. It's like the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. Yeah, but the plastic was actually coming from out of the ground. Our dogs had dug it up. And I ain't about to dig further to figure out why it's under there. No thanks. I don't want to know. I'm not disturbing anything or anybody that might be under there. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm more worried about like murderers being. I I will be 28 July 22nd. So next year on July 22nd, 2022, I will be 29. Like I'm not scared of like ghosts. Like if this is me not inviting this to happen, but like I don't like I'm not scared of like really anything paranormal happening. Like I would love to buy an old abandoned house and like fix it up only because I think it would be y'all are gonna think this is nuts. I think it would be so what's the right word? I don't know the right word, but to find like dead bodies hidden in the walls, like that would be or like I always want to go to flea markets and like find the most haunted looking thing I can. But I've watched enough true crime to know and scary movies to know that murderers can get in your house. And they can hide from you, and they can kill you when you least expect it. Listen, I'm not gonna say this on camera. Never mind. I was gonna say something on camera, but I'm not, just in case there's creepos watching. I'll just put it this way. Our security system would take care of the problem for us. At least enough to where we would be able to arm ourselves if we needed to. Aaron, was it you telling me that you wanted to see the fireflies? I'm still trying to get them on camera. I can't remember who told me they wanted to see them, but you know, when Katie, my oldest, was like 3, Jaws was her favorite movie. Yeah, Kat, thank goodness I don't have an attic or basement. You're gonna have to come through the front door or the back door and pass my dogs before you can get to me. So, have fun! Y'all, I don't think my husband plans on going to bed anytime soon because he's drinking Red Bull at 9 o'clock at night. Good, Kat. Keep it that way. Then you don't have to worry about it. I saw a horror movie once where a guy was living in the walls of this house that he so oh no, he's been through holes. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm more scared of the living than I am the dead. So you're more scared of the dead than you are the living, Cat? I'm more scared of the living than I am the dead. Like the dead, all I need is a priest and God to like warn off the dead, but like the living can actually like do some real no, ma'am. I don't even want to think about it. That's one thing I want to make sure I teach my kids. Like I want them to be aware of the monsters there are in society. I keep looking down my hallway. It's because I think somebody is standing there watching. Yeah, when I go to bed, Cat, I like to eat them in my bed while I'm hate watching Ghost Adventures and making fun of Zach Bagans, which I hate how he says his name. It's spelled Baggins, but he pronounces it Bagans, and it drives me nuts. See, it's not the vacuum because the vacuum's like almost back by my bedroom, and I feel like somebody is standing right at this end of the hallway, right by my refrigerator, looking at me. But there's literally no one there. And my dogs aren't barking, so. I think the little old lady would enjoy what I've done in here. It's no longer brown. Cat. I think she would love it. I watch it, I hate watch it on Discovery Plus because there's no commercials. And I'm just gonna say, I think Zach Bagans, he acts all big and macho on the show, and he's not afraid of no ghost or no demon. But one, he's rude and disrespectful to the dead. Like, these people were literally killed in some horrific way, or died of some horrific disease, or just died. And you're in there calling them a bunch of, uh, he's just being a dick to the ghosts. And then, he like puts on this big facade about how he's so brave and he doesn't care if he gets possessed. I bet he is the biggest pansy ass in real life. I feel like Kat, if she didn't like it, she would have done something to show me she didn't like it. Like, I don't know, knock over the paint all over the floor or something. I don't My daughter did say the old lady was mean, though. You know, kids are very receptive to that kind of thing. No, it's Delson peeling it. I've watched him do it, Cat. Trust me, it is him peeling it, and it's the cat scratching it. I've watched. I cannot get into American Horror Story. I cannot. I can't do it. It's just not my jam. I don't like scripted shows. Unless it's like Law and Order, SVU, NCIS, Criminal Minds, CSI, things like that. Alright, I need to put my glasses on because I'm starting to get a headache from trying to read your comments from this far back. Good night, Wendy. I do not have to get up early in the morning. So, there's that. I can't get into American Horror Story. I can't really get into any of the newer shows. Hmm. Oh, she may be encouraging it. But see, that's the one thing that kind of makes me skeptical about the old lady is Katie's seen it when she was little, but Delson's never mentioned anything like that. So, who knows? I do really believe, though, in the living, like the spirit world and ghosts and demons and poltergeists and things like that. Like I said, I just can't. I have never been able to get into American Horror Story, Game of Thrones, any of them. I will try again, Kat. We will see. You know what movie I want to watch? What is that one that came out on Netflix? In the Tall Grass or something like that? But my husband won't watch horror movies with us. Kat, when you come visit, we might just have to have a horror movie marathon. Can y'all hear me from way back here, or do I need to get closer? And my daughter keeps coughing, which makes me look down the hallway. She's got some allergies going on right now. And we're supposed to go to a friend's house on Saturday. You know what movies I do love? The Creep Show movies. So good. Oh, yeah, maybe we can, Kat. Good night, Kat. Yeah, you guys, I'm probably going to go ahead and jump off here. And since my husband's going to stay up late and play his game, I'm probably going to go get in bed. And not hate watch Zach Bagans, but actually watch a show I enjoy. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a great night. And I will see you. I'm going to get that cleaning video edited tomorrow because if my husband's staying up late, he'll sleep in and I can actually edit. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Good night.